as I always say, it's not the thing that I believe. This is the fact. This is the truth. Because our generation is the one and only and the first and the last generation with real brains. I'll tell you. Because the generation that will be coming from you will be partially brainwashed, or at least they would even try their best to brainwash your kid, even if you don't allow them to. It's like, imagine that you have a kid, and that kid should go outside the home. That kid should interact with people in order to understand the people around him, in order to understand or make things around, or try to speak and convince things, and all those life lessons. To learn these things, you have to interact. So 80% of the people who your kid interact with will be brainwashed. And before saying on how it will be and how the real thing will be, I would like to say that people have forgotten their values. That's why women are trying to be independent and men are trying to be more feminine. And I don't make it as a fault that men trying to be feminine is a fault, but women trying to be independent is not a fault. Because they are trying to be independent because some men failed to look up to them. They came to a decision that nobody is going to look after them. It is absolutely strange and sick, as their life will be like similar to men. So the only way to enjoy their freedom to do what they like is they have to be independent. So it's the men's fault that women taught to be independent, because I'll tell you, men have the duty and purpose to protect and protect the family and the people who depend on them. And women are the emotional beings, and women should look after the family for the last, maybe before 10 years. At least you can look at your mothers, you can see your grandmothers, look at your ancestors. It's all been like that. Nobody tried to push their career over looking after the family. When it comes to the family, then they took care of the family, and then spare time. Then they found time, because they literally needed the career. So they just looked after the family, and they found time, spare time, to push forward to living their careers. Okay, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's not. I'm not saying that. I'm not being so misogynistic that women should only stay inside home. No. They should learn how the world works. They should know how things are working. And I also believe that they're the only beings to enjoy the inner beauty of the world. They have to enjoy the absolute adorable beauty of the earth. And men are supposed to take them to the most beautiful places and be proud, have that feeling of giving something, and women should have that feeling of having something. This is how a real family works. This is how a real man and a real woman should be. And you can say that I'm so a traditional man, I'm an old guy, I'm not supporting any modern values. Yeah, I'm not supporting any modern values, because modern value is literally not to look after the family, and you can choose any gender you want and chop off your day and support abortions. I don't support that type of modern value things. I don't. I literally don't. So if you want a happy family, this is the only way. Work as hard as possible in a way that you literally fulfill your duty and you fulfill your responsibility. As a woman, you have a responsibility to look after the family and provide the full strength emotional support to the family, raising the kid and having the backup for your husband. And as a man, you have to look after the family by working as hard as possible to make them not starve for a single day, but to make as much as possible. And to have a good house, if you have a passion of cars and vehicles and all those things, you can have that. But first priority is your family. That's the family. And put them into a very high class, provide them the best that you can. Then have your things. That's how a real man is supposed to be. That's how real men used to be. So this episode I've called like how a family should be. I'm gonna name it like how I spoke about it. Some people are there showing some clickbait. They'll choose some clickbait for some porn stars, and there will be men who's urgent dopamine. Their things will stand up and they'll just click on the clickbait. That's why it's called the clickbait. So it's not going to be any sort of clickbait. It's going to be a real thumbnail. Because I have only talked about the family. I have only talked about how a family should be working. Maybe of the traditional values, and I'm not respecting the modern values by, I'm not repeating any stuffs. The modern things that they tell us, it's absolutely worse. If you're going to follow those things, you'll be completely brainwashed. If you really want your next generation, your kids, to be brainwashed, like how you are taking the decision now. Just take the right decision. You're taking the right decision to not follow the moral values. And make your kid brainwashed like how it's going to be. Or if you want to take the right decision by following the traditional values and make your kid the most strongest and a real kid. It's a woman, I told you, follow the emotional things. Those you're the most precious things. And men should be providing for you. You are just worth a million. More than you're just priceless. You have to be priceless. You have a duty to stay priceless. And if you're born as a man, you are just absolutely born with no value. You just have to build your value by protecting and providing for the people who depend on you. First aid, you have to look after your parents. Then there's next thing, you have to take care of your family by building a family and taking care of them. And then there is you at last. You comes at the very last. Taking care of yourself comes at the very last. First is the first parents, your father and mother, and then the family comes from you. Wife, kids, and all those things. That's how real people should be. Remember this. Stay on.